Hello and welcome to Rathod Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see very important articles that appear in our Hindu newspaper. So let's get started with our discussion, guys. First of all, let us see important topics of the day. First topic is Supreme Court tells EC that voting is a sentimental right. Supreme Court again gave a statement regarding right to vote. And this topic is important from GS paper 2 under polity. Next topic is food prices push retail inflation up to 3.4% in March. This article is talking about retail inflation and this article is important from your economy from GS paper 3. Next topic is below normal rain likely for first time in 11 years. This article is saying about the forecast of Indian monsoon. IMT came up with a forecast and it said that we are going to have below normal rainfall and we are going to get rainfall very less when we are comparing with last 11 years. And this topic is important from geography point of view. Our next topic is the fallout of the crisis in West Asia on India's economy. This article is talking about what is the impact of West Asia on our Indian economy. And this topic is important from GS paper 3 under economy. Next topic it is about Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Because of this Ambedkar Jayanti today, there is an article in our editorial page related to that, and this time in 2026 Dr. B.R. Ambedkar will be very important. Okay, now let us see all those topics in detail. Look at the title, guys, read out the title. Supreme Court tells EC that voting is a sentimental right. Okay, tell me why Supreme Court gave this statement. Supreme Court tells EC, Election Commission, that voting is a sentimental right. Why it is a sentiment for the people? Is right to vote is a sentiment or not? Why it is a sentimental right? What do you think? To understand this, again you have to go back. Election Commission of India came up with this SIR, Special Interest Division, in which state first? It came up in Bihar, and later on it extended to different states of our country, and even they said that we are going to launch this SIR in all the states from April 2026 onwards. This is a statement given, right? Okay, so if you take especially West Bengal, what is happening in this West Bengal region? Because of SIR, lakhs of people, they lost their names in their voter list. Yes? They lost their names in their voter list. And what they did? They filed petitions in Supreme Court. And later on what Supreme Court did? Supreme Court asked questions to ECI. What is this? These many people, they lost their names. Then what Supreme Court said? It is Article 324. Look at Article 325. Look at Article 326. So this is the thing which mainly said by Election Commission. Election Commission's reply is like that. It is our constitution mandate and we have to ensure that voter list is clean and green. So because of this we did that. And Supreme Court recently gave one statement. What is that statement? Okay, before that, now in 4 states and in 1 UT, we have legislative assembly elections. Which are those 4 states? We have West Bengal, Assam, Kerala, Tamil Nadu and UT is Puducherry. So now in West Bengal, they are going to have elections. And in West Bengal, lakhs of people, they lost their names in voter list. So what Supreme Court said recently? If your name is not there in voter list, it is not like you're losing your constitutional right. What Supreme Court said? You can approach tribunal, right? And they arranged how many tribunals? They arranged 19 tribunals in this West Bengal to hear this petitions of people who lost their names in this voter list. And recently, whenever these tribunals, they started hearing the cases, what happened? Gherao happened. Yes or no? What is Gherao? So they stopped these people to go out of that office after the timings, and for 9 hours continuous there was no food and no water for them. And what Supreme Court said? Supreme Court responded harshly to that Gerav, and Supreme Court said that it is a big challenge for the functioning of judiciary, and will also comes under contempt of court. It is nothing but we will see this is as a criminal contempt. Yes, and now again Supreme Court said that. Supreme Court now came up with the fresh statements, and in this fresh statements it criticized Election Commission of India because around 24 lakh petitions are there, and they established 19 tribunals. That means before each tribunal there are more than 1 lakh cases they have to hear. Do they have time? They are having elections. Do they have time to hear these many cases for these tribunals? No. Because of this, Supreme Court said that it is a sentiment for Indians, because right to vote is the expression through which people shows patriotism, that is nothing but love towards their nation. If they are losing this right to vote in this legislative assembly elections, then what happened? Sometimes the sentiments of the people will be getting affected. So because of this, Supreme Court gave this statement. Supreme Court tells Election Commission that voting is a sentimental right. Are you understanding? This is about this article. Clear? So how you can get a question in your prelims? First thing here is you have to see in detail about Election Commission of India this time, and you have to see about SIR. It is also a possible question. And next one is tribunal. Who are the members of this tribunal? In earlier class we discussed that only retired High Court judges are the members, and whatever the award or judgment they give is final. There is no appeal. On this point UPSC can ask you a question. And next one here is, you may get question on this contempt of court, because it is not a small incident that we can easily digest, right? Contempt of court also you may get a question. And next one here is High Court judge resignation is in news, and removal of Justice Ashwant Verma is in news. So you may get question on appointment and removal of Supreme Court judges and High Court judges. Okay, all these are the possible questions from this single topic. You have to see ECI, A to Z ECI you have to see, because recently removal of CEC is also in news, but that motion had been rejected by speaker. Yes. And next one is SIR and electoral rolls differences. There may be a possible question. COC, contempt of court, tribunals, removal of judges. Because Justice Verma, he gave his resignation letter to President, right? So because of this, you may get a question. So all these areas are very important from polity for this year, guys. Okay, you have to ensure that you read all those topics A to Z before going to examination. Okay, revise those topics well. Now let us see this article. Supreme Court came up with some statements during the hearing of petitions challenging Election Commission's Special Entrance Division of Electoral Rolls in West Bengal. And Supreme Court sharply criticized this process of voter exclusion just days before assembly elections. Before this assembly elections, whenever they came up with this kind of SIR, it is a move which had been criticized by Supreme Court now. So what Supreme Court said is, right to remain on electoral roll and vote is a constitutional and sentimental right of people. In which article talks about right to vote? Article 326 talks about adult suffrage. So Supreme Court said that right to vote is a constitutional and sentimental right of Indians, and act of voting is the biggest expression of nationality and as well as showing of patriotism. So we remove this right now by removing their names in this voter list. That is the criticism which mainly said by Supreme Court to Election Commission. Okay, so what are the facts? Okay, it is not 24, it is 34. See here, over 34 lakh appeals were filed before 19 appellate tribunals. there are more than 1 lakh appeals pending per a tribunal and on an average. So because of this, what is happening? It is a logical, if you see logically, it is impractical to hear all those petitions before elections of this West Bengal. That is the thing which mainly said here. And what will be the impact of removal of the names? First one here is, because of this increasing petitions, it will be increased pressure on election commission and as well as tribunals to fast track pending appeals before polls. Before polls, if you want to clear all those things, it won't happen. It will be a big challenge because already there is an increased workload. And this one is, obviously it will be impacting voter turnout and sentiments in affected areas. And this one is, it may also leads to politically charged flashpoint. It may also leads to conflict. And next one here is, it will also showcase a last minute chaos or legal challenges related to this exclusion of their names. And obviously it will strengthen public scrutiny of election commission's SIR process nationwide. So these are the possible or probable impacts of removal of their names in this voter list. Okay, say this article guys. Title says, food prices push retail inflation up to 3.4% in March. What is the meaning of this article guys? What is the meaning of this article? It is talking about food prices rise. It is talking about food inflation, yes or no? Keyword here is food inflation. What is the meaning of inflation? Whenever there is increased prices of goods and services in the market is called as inflation. What about this food inflation? There is increased food prices in the market. So now you guys tell me why there is increased food prices in market. What is the major reason? First one is LPG crisis. Yes. If there is no gas, how can we cook the food? And even if you go for getting this gas cylinders on black market, they are paying thousands of rupees. So if they are paying more, they have to charge more. That is the reason why there is increased food prices in the market. Okay, why there is LPG crisis now in India? Because of West Asian crisis. Because of this West Asia crisis, now there is impact on LPG cylinders in our country that led to overall increase of food prices. Okay, now here we have to see two things. First one is types of inflation. How many types of inflation we have? 3 types. What are they? Demand pull inflation. What is this demand pull inflation? Whenever there is increased demand for that good, obviously there will be increased price. That is called as demand pull inflation. Next one is cost push inflation. What is this cost push inflation? Whenever there is increased cost for raw material to make any product, then that will lead to increased price of that product. Now we are facing this problem of cost push inflation in this food now in the market. And third one is built in. What is this built in inflation? Whenever we are changing our lifestyle, we will move towards certain goods. There will be increased demand for certain goods because of changing of lifestyle. That will lead to increased price of that goods. That leads to built-in inflation. Okay, how we are measuring this inflation? What are the indicators we have? We have CPI, we have WPI. Whenever we are measuring inflation at retailer or at consumer level, we will be measuring what? CPI. Whenever we are measuring the price change at wholesale level, that is called as wholesale price index. Now we are measuring at retail level or at a consumer level. So now this article is talking about CPI, Consumer Price Index. Okay, this year this inflation will become very important, especially CPI will become very important because we revised base year. What is the new base year for GDP series? Any idea? For GDP series we have 2022 to 23. For CPI, remember base year is 2024. So we used this new base year now and we calculated retail inflation in market, and this article is saying that there is increased food inflation because of LPG crisis. Are you understanding? And now, how can you get a question in your examination? You may get question related to this base year. Consider the following statements regarding base year, and on that they may give you question. Or else consider the following statements regarding CPI. They'll give you statements. Okay. So in that CPI, what they'll give? The first one here you have to see is who will release this CPI. Very important. First one is National Statistical Office. Okay, National Statistical Office, which comes under Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, will be releasing this index. First point. And which base year they used here? They used new base year 2024 for CPI. And next they gave certain data regarding the food prices. There is increased food prices of tomato, coconut, cauliflower, and even onion, potato, garlic, dal, chickpeas, etc. So why there is increased cost of coconut? Because of which disease? Coconut root wilt disease. That means you may also get a question on this coconut. Every year UPSC will give one question related to one product. Last year they gave about turmeric. Before year they gave about rubber. Before year they gave about palm oil. Whatever the goods that we are consuming every day, they will be giving one question on that. This year they may give question on coconut for sure, because many articles related to coconut were there in news because of this root wilt disease. And even in our budget they said about increase, they want to increase this coconut. They came up with coconut promotion scheme also. Because of this time coconut will become very important. And next one is GDP series. Check new GDP series for different indicators. Okay, that's it guys. And here they said that there is increased electricity, gas and other fuel prices. Because of that overall price of the goods had been increased in the market, and especially international crude oil prices and gas prices had been increased. That's it guys, nothing more than that. Okay, see this next article. Below normal rain likely for first time in 11 years. What does it mean? Below normal rain. Who is saying this? IMD. India is starting at a below normal southwest monsoon. The Indian Meteorological Department has warned for first time in 11 years in its forecast. In its forecast from last 11 years, this time IMD forecast said that we are going to get below normal rainfall. Okay, monsoon is going on in your classes, right? Monsoon done? Yes? Recently? How many days ago? And I gave you mains question also based on that monsoon, right? So now you have to see what is the meaning of monsoon. Monsoon word derived from which word? Monsoon word derived from mausam. What is the meaning of mausam? Mausam is nothing but reversal of winds. As you all know that earth is rotating on its own axis and it will be moving around the sun, and moving around sun in elliptical orbit. It is not circular orbit, it is elliptical orbit. Sometimes what happens, the distance between sun and earth will be less. Sometimes distance between earth and sun is more. So what is that position called as? It is sun. It is elliptical orbit. For example, let us take earth is here. What is this distance? Distance is more or less? More. What is that position is called as? Perihelion or apohelion? Huh? Then what about this location where earth is very near? Okay. And next we have summer solstice, winter solstice, equinox condition. Do you know this? So whenever Earth is in this location, we have equinox. Equinox means nothing but sun rays will directly fall on equator. And here, if Earth is in this location, what happen? If sun rays are more directly falling on Tropic of Cancer, that is called as summer solstice. If sun rays falls directly on Tropic of Capricorn, it is called as winter solstice. You know this, right? During this winter solstice and summer solstice, there will be movement of ITCZ. What is the full form of ITCZ? Intertropical Convergence Zone will be moving northward in summer season, will be moving southwards during winter season, right? You know this concept. Okay, now let us see what is this exactly El Nino and La Nina. And this is the favorite area of UPSC. Many a times UPSC asked question on this El Nino and La Nina. I'll tell in very simple way. Here we have India, Australia, South America. Normally in summer season where this ITCZ will be there on Tropic of Cancer. So here we have ITCZ. Here we have which pressure? Low pressure. In normal conditions is also called as La Nina condition. In La Nina or normal condition on India, on this Tropic of Cancer, we will be having low pressure. And this is which ocean? Pacific Ocean. And this part is Western Pacific Ocean. This part is Eastern Pacific Ocean, right? In this Western Pacific Ocean, across this coast of Australia, we will be having low pressure normally in this time. And here, in this Eastern Pacific Ocean, across this coast of South America, we will be having this high pressure. According to pressure gradient force, always winds will move from high pressure to low pressure. So now which direction this winds will move? From South Africa to Australia, and from here also India will be attracting winds. So this is the normal condition in which India will be getting very good rainfall in this La Nina. Then what happens in this El Nino? In this El Nino condition, this will be same. ITCZ will be moving towards northwards, and India will be having low pressure. It is common. But here these two things will be getting reversed. Now apart from low pressure here, high pressure will be formed in this Western Pacific Ocean region, and here low pressure will be formed in this Eastern Pacific Ocean. So what happens? Winds will be moving from high pressure to low pressure. So where the rainfall will happens? Rainfall will be happens in this South American region, and we will be also attracting winds, but very less number of winds we will be attracting. So that in this El Nino, India will be getting less rainfall, and Australia will be getting, if there is high pressure, there will be formation of winds, no formation, clouds. No formation of clouds will happen whenever we are having this high pressure. So no clouds, no rainfall. So Australia will be getting what? Droughts. And the South America will be getting floods because of heavy rainfall. Okay. So now because of El Nino, India will be getting less rainfall. That is why it is in news. Are you understanding? So what exactly you have to say is, you will be getting question based on comparison of El Nino and La Nina in your mains and even in prelims. They will be confusing you by using Western coast, Western Pacific, Eastern Pacific. You should not confuse this. Okay. So here we have Western Pacific Ocean. It will be like Eastern Australia. So you have to see directions very clearly, east to west, on which you will be getting confused. And next one here is, they will be asking about ITCZ, and they may be asking about impact of El Nino on India, impact of El Nino on South America. Because India will be getting less rainfall, here they will be getting good rainfall. Australia will be getting droughts, here it will be getting floods. And because of this, you have to clearly know directions of winds and which side, east or west, coast, everything. On this, UPSC will be making some statements which are confusing. So you should not confuse. So tell me guys, what is the impact of this El Nino on India? First one here is impact on ocean will be there. Because of this movement of winds, there will be continuous upwelling of water, right? So if there is no upwelling of water, it will not provide nutritious food. Because of this, obviously, it will lead to impact on our coastal fishing communities and fishing industry overall. India will be getting less rainfall. So that, as you all know that Indian agriculture is mainly rain-fed agriculture. It will be affecting our agriculture productivity. If you are getting less agriculture productivity, what happen? That will impact food security of our country, and even that may leads to increased malnutrition and nutrition related disorders in our country. That is the thing. And next one is water level in the lakes, ponds and rivers will be getting decreased. That will leads to obviously negative impact on aquatic biodiversity. That will be impacting this people who are dependent on this aquatic animals as their livelihood. And next one is we have to import more and more grains from other country, so that we have to pay more and more money for other countries, and our food processing industries will be getting affected the most. Yes. And what about South America? There will be increased rainfall in the South America, that will lead to coastal flooding, and as well as coastal soil erosion can happen in South America. Whenever they are flooding, what happen? There will be transmission of communicable diseases like cholera, dengue, chikungunya and even malaria like that. Okay, so those things that you have to remember, guys. See this article, read out the title. The fallout of crisis in West Asia on India's economy. You know this article, you know everything, but the thing here is how you are putting the points is very important. This article is talking about crisis in West Asia, impact on Indian economy. Now tell me guys, what is happening in West Asia? We have Israel plus US attacked Iran. What is that operation called as? Operation, very good, Epic Fury. In that operation, main leader of Iran, Khamenei, died. Iran is not silent. Iran came up with Operation Roaring Lion, and it started attacking Israel and as well as US military bases in this West Asia region. So because of this, what happened? There is decreased production of oil and as well as gas, decreased supply of oil and gas. That led to increased price of this oil and gas in international market. Yes. And next one is Iran closed Strait of Hormuz. That led to supply chain disruption. Whichever the countries dependent on this West Asia, they are facing economic crisis now and energy crisis now, even India, even China also, right? Okay, so because of this West Asian crisis, now tell me guys, what is the impact on India? Do we have any impact or not? What are those impacts? Tell me one by one. First one is, what is the impact? First one, oil prices increased. Because of this, petrol and diesel prices increased. That led to increased transportation cost. That led to inflation in our country. And next one is LPG crisis in our country. Because of this LPG crisis, food inflation that we discussed in second article. Because of this, what happened? We are having a problem of malnutrition. And next one is, what about the purchasing power of people? Decreased or increased? Purchasing power of people had been decreased in our country. And recently we discussed about oil refineries. The profit for this oil refineries had been reduced a lot. Because of this, government reduced excise duty. Yes. And now what they are planning here is, in India, their profit had been reduced. So they want to export. They want to export other countries, especially diesel and as well as aviation turbine fuel or jet fuels to other countries. So if they are exporting to other countries, obviously they will get profits. But what about domestic availability? Will be decreased. So if domestic availability is decreased, obviously the cost will be increased. So in yesterday's and day before yesterday's newspapers, they said that government increased export duty on aviation fuels and as well as diesel. So that government is trying to ensure availability of diesel and fuel in our country. Okay. And here you have to know about one important tax called as windfall tax. I think you may get a question on this windfall tax in 2026 prelims. So please make a note, what is windfall tax? Whenever company is producing goods, if they are getting large or huge amounts of profits, on this profits, government will be imposing tax. That is called as windfall tax. Now, government is imposing windfall tax on this oil refineries because they want to export this diesel and aviation turbine fuel to other countries so that they will be getting profits, huge profits for this oil refinery companies now. So, to control that, government is imposing windfall tax. Windfall tax is nothing but if you are getting extra huge amounts of profits. On these profits, government will impose taxes. That is called as windfall tax. And next one is you know about remittances, right? What are these remittances? Indian diaspora who are staying in this West Asia and they will work in oil refineries, construction sites, etc. And they will send some amount back to their family members. Now what happened because of this crisis? They are not getting work in this construction sites because of lack of safety. They are not getting work in this oil fields. Are they sending remittances? No. Again, remittances are decreasing in our country. It is also one impact. And next point here is, as you know, India is import dependent country. And now international prices had been increased. Because of this, now we have to pay more and more amount for our oil imports. That is widening our physical deficit, and outflow of dollar is happening because oil trade will happen in this petrodollars. So from India, dollars are going out and out. There is increased demand for dollars. Because of this, what is happening? Depreciation of rupee. This is also one important problem. Yes. And next important problem, eighth problem, what can we say here is, what are the investment they used to come from West Asia to invest in India? They also had been stalled. So here there is decreased investments, decreased FDI, decreased FII in our country which is coming from this West Asia. So overall investments will got affected. And next ninth problem we can say here is Strait of Hormuz had been blocked by this Iran. So what happened through this route? We used to get our fertilizers. So we are not getting our fertilizers, and this time we are going to have El Nino. So no fertilizers plus El Nino is a good combination for huge losses in agriculture. So now we can expect that agriculture cannot sustain normally in our country without this agriculture and as well as rainfall. So you are going to get losses in agriculture in this year, in this Kharif and as well as Rabi season. So these are the possible impacts of this West Asian crisis. Are you understanding? If you are getting any question from the mains, you have to address all these points. You should not write a single 1 or 2 points and explain that. You have to write your answer in multi-dimensional manner. Here I said about agriculture, here I said about oil prices, food inflation, I said about purchasing power of people, physical deficit and investments, export duty, remittances, oil refinery losses. I addressed maximum all. And even you can write from general public point of view, like government has to increase security for our Indian diaspora who are living in this West Asia country, and India should have to lead some operations to bring them back if situation become worse. So like that you can write from general public point of view also. So these are the impact on our country because of this West Asian crisis. Are you understanding? Okay, this is about that topic, nothing more than that. And see this next article, guys. Today is Ambedkar Jayanti. There is one article related to Ambedkar in editorial session. So just see about this. And this year Ambedkar Jayanti will be Ambedkar related question is a possible question in prelims from modern history. Why? Because recently we discussed about Mahat Satyagraha, right? What is Mahat Satyagraha? It is water movement led by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and we celebrated centenary celebrations for the starting of the Satyagraha, right? So because of this, you may get question on this Dr. B.R. Ambedkar for sure this time, and you have to prepare A to Z related to Ambedkar. Okay, if you see about this article, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was a prominent Indian jurist, economist, social reformer and a politician. He was born on April 14, 1891 in Mo region of Madhya Pradesh, and his father name is Subedar Ramji Sakpal. And very important, he was a follower of Sant Kabir. So if you see about the contributions, in 1924 he started Association for Welfare of Depressed Classes because he himself belongs to this depressed class. He know about how this discrimination based on caste was there at that time. So for that reason he started Association for the Welfare of Depressed Classes, and he started one newspaper called as Bahishkrit Bharat. Very important. And through this paper, he tried to increase awareness about depressed classes discrimination to the society. And he led Mahat Satyagraha. It is about water movement. Earlier, this scheduled caste people are not allowed to take this water from this public wells or tanks. So they have to beg water from this high caste people. At that time, they led this Mahat Satyagraha. And very important point, there were three round table conferences were held in year 1930, 1931 and 32, 30, 31 and 32. In all these round table conferences, this Ambedkar was present. And there is one more person who was along with him who participated in all these three round table conferences. Who was he? You will get that question, and already that is a repeated theme of UPSC. Who among the following participated in all these three roundtable conferences? One is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and there is one more person. What about Mahatma Gandhi? Did he participate in all? Only in second roundtable conference in 1931 he participated. But B.R. Ambedkar participated in all these three, and there is one more person. Who is he? Please tell me in the comment box. Honoured students, tell me in the comment box. Offline students, refer your notes once again. Okay, next one here is he formed Independent Labour Party in 1936, and later on in 1942 he was appointed to Executive Council of Governor General of India, and he elected to Constituent Assembly in Bengal in 1946, and he became the chairman of drafting committee. You know about him. And in 1947 Dr. B.R. Ambedkar became the Minister of Law. And finally, he resigned from the cabinet in 1951 because of differences on Hindu Code Bill. So these are the contributions of this Ambedkar. And next, if you see important works, many a times UPSC has a tendency to ask questions in this way. Consider the following: they'll give you book names and who wrote this. And last year they gave a question about sedition is my birthright, like that. Who gave this and in which event they gave this. Every year one question will be there in this format from modern history. You have to see that. And if you see the journals, we have Mook Nayak, Bahishkrit Bharat, Samata, Janata. These are the four journals of this Ambedkar. And we have books which were written by him: Annihilation of Caste, Buddha or Karl Marx, The Untouchable, Buddha and his Dhamma, The Rise and Fall of Hindu Women. These are the books written by him. And next, from mains point of view, you will be getting question in this way: what is the relevance of Mahatma Gandhi in today's era? And if you see PYQs, they asked about what is the relevance of IVC, Indian Indus Valley Civilization today. And they asked about what is the relevance of Mahatma Gandhi today, relevance of Tagore today. Like that, you will be getting questions in this way in ethics and as well as in GS paper 1 regarding their relevance today. So if you see the relevance of B.R. Ambedkar today, even today also we are having this caste based discrimination. You know about manual scavenging, caste based mob violence and lynching is happening in different parts of our country. So because of this, for sure, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's teachings are important today. The first important point you can say that his ideas and contributions, they continue to shape our India's social and political landscape, because he fought against caste-based discrimination. And even today also it is a greater struggle that we are facing in our society. And next one here is his vision for inclusive and egalitarian society is very important, because now we have an ambitious target of getting developed country status, that is Viksit Bharat by 2047. If you want to achieve that, inclusive society is very important. Without inclusiveness, we cannot achieve that. And next one here is, he said that through education only we can empower the people. So now also we are focusing on education for all. So because of this, even today also Dr. B.R. Ambedkar ideal is relevant. And next one is, Ambedkar's legacy is an integral part of India's national identity, and even he is going to inspire next generation as well. So because of this, his ideals and teachings, everything is very important even today. So that is about this thing, guys. And see these questions. First one, consider the following statements regarding El Nino. First statement is, it is associated with warming of sea temperature in Eastern Pacific Ocean. Next one, it strengthens the water circulation. It generally leads to below normal monsoon rainfall in India. Today's title is this one only, right? Below normal rainfall because of El Nino. That means 3 will be there for sure in your answer. See the first one. It is west or east. I said no, UPSC will confuse you by giving eastern, western. See this first statement and tell me whether it is right or wrong. For sure 3 will be there, but what about these two? What about water circulation? Weakens or strengthens? Water circulation is La Nino's, but El Nino means it weakens, no, it will not strengthen. 2 remove 2, answer is 1 and 3. They gave eastern, right only, right? Why you will think in that much? Eastern part of Pacific Ocean will be getting? Eastern part will be getting heated in this El Nino. Yes, in La Nina, western part is getting heated. Say this next question, guys. Consider the following statements regarding inflation. First one is, inflation refers to a sustained increase in general price level. Second one is, inflation increases the purchasing power of money. Inflation is usually measured as a percentage change in price indices. First one, inflation means increase in price, yes or no? 1 will be there. What about this one? Inflation increases the purchasing power. Inflation decreases the purchasing power, not increase, right? So it will be decreases. It will be wrong. Next one is, inflation is usually measured as a percentage change in price indices. Yes, 3.4%, 4.2%. Now this article says 3.4% of retail inflation, right? So this is right. So answer will be A, 1 and 3. Why you are confusing that much? That's all, guys. By this I'm concluding. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this class, please do hit the like button and please do share this class to your friends. And in our academy, we are going to launch a new Reliance Mains Foundation course batch on April 20th onwards, guys. If you are interested, please do contact us. If you have any queries, so please do contact us on this number 8074765513. And if you want to visit the academy, you can come and you can visit. It is located in Hyderabad, in Ashok Nagar, exactly above Vikas Book Center, 2nd and 3rd floor, guys. And I will be available in institute from morning to evening. You can come and you can talk to me. And I wish you all the best. Thank you so much.